Hi everybody, Mr Olins here. I hope you have all had a fantastic weekend. I hope it was relaxing, had some lovely food, did some good exercise. Anyway, it is Monday, which means we need to start working again, okay? To give you a little heads up of what we're doing this week, we've got 2 more lessons on percentages, so today and tomorrow. And then we are starting a new topic on Wednesday. I cannot wait. Okay, it's going to be so good. I'm not going to reveal what it is yet. You are going to find out on Wednesday. Okay, please keep sending in your work. You're sending in fantastic work. I really enjoy looking at it and giving you feedback. Okay, which is very important so that you can improve. Okay, remember to send in work. Right. The time has come for our lesson on percentages. Let's go!
Right, so what are you going to need for the lesson? You're going to need something to write with and paper, squared paper if possible, but if you only have lined paper or blank paper, that is absolutely fine. And then you are also going to need a place value grid, like so, which you can find on the Year 5 section of the online learning on the Grange website. Again, as I always say at this point, if you do not have these things, okay, please pause the video, go and get them as they are very important for today's lesson, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Lovely, so what are we doing today? Our LI today is to convert between decimals, fractions, and percentages. So your first task is to write the LI and the date at the top of the page. So please pause the video, complete this, and then press play when you are ready to continue. The next thing we're going to do is a recap. Okay, remember recap is really important to strengthen our understanding. Okay, so 3 questions. What does percentage tell us? Which is bigger, 0.03 or 0.3? And then what is 120 over 300 as a percentage? So please pause the video, complete this task underneath the LI and the date, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Welcome back. So what is percentage? Percentage tells us how many parts per 100 we have, okay? Now, which is bigger, 0.03 or 0.3? Okay, now 0.03, okay, is 300ths, and 0.3 is 30 hundredths, okay? So 30 hundredths is going to be bigger than 300ths, so 0.3 is bigger than 0.03. Then the last question was, what was 120 over 300 as a percentage? Remember, a percentage is out of 100, so we need to turn our fraction out into something which is out of 100. So 300 divided by 3 gives us 100, so whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 120 divided by 3 is 40. Okay, so 40 over 100 as a percentage is 40%. Okay, now, I'm sure most of you did absolutely fantastically there, but if you maybe didn't do as well as you would like to have done, do not worry, okay? Please just send me an email. This is very, very, very important, okay? Don't just sit there struggling, okay? Honestly, I promise you I can help you, so please just send me an email. Fantastic. Right, we are now going to move on to the starter. What is our starter today? You have 2 questions. The first one is, what is a prime number? The second one is, what is a composite number? Okay, so you're going to write the answers to these under the recap. If you'd like to give some examples, that is also fabulous, but you don't have to. So please pause the video, complete the starter, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Excellent, so what is a prime number? A prime number, okay, is a number that only has 2 factors, 1 and itself. For example, here we have 2. Okay, the only factors of 2 are 1 and itself 2. So that means that it's a prime number because it only has 2 factors. Right, now, what is a composite number? A composite number is a number which has more than 2 factors. Okay, as an example, 4. The factors are 4. Sorry, there's 4. 4 has 3 factors, 2, 1, and 4. So this is a composite number because it has more than 2 factors. Okay, so just to recap, a prime number is a number which only has 2 factors. A composite number is a number which has more than 2 factors. Excellent. We have done this before, but obviously it was a long time ago, so you may not remember. So if you'd like some extra support on this, absolutely fine. Just send me an email. Do not be scared to do this, please. Right, so the next thing we're going to move on is to the main part of our lesson today, okay, which is really going to be focusing on converting decimals to percentages and then converting percentages and fractions back to decimals. Okay, so it's a very strong focus on decimals today. So, a few things we need to remember. Decimals are out of 1. Okay, so if you have something like 0.2, that's 0.2 out of 1. Okay, 1 being the total. Now, if we want to convert from decimals to percentages or fractions, we need to make our decimals out of 100. Okay, and if we want to convert from fractions to percentages to decimals, we need to make our fractions or decimals out of 1. Okay, we're going to go through loads of examples here, which is going to explain this much better. Okay, so here we have 0.2, which is a decimal, and I would like to turn this decimal into a percentage. Okay, so the first thing to really do is think like, what is a percentage? Okay, a percentage, all percentage means is out of 100. Okay, so if we want to turn our decimal into a percentage, we need to make our decimal out of 100. Okay, so how do we do that? The same like we did when we were converting fractions to percentages, percentages to fractions. So to get from 1 to 100, okay, we need to times 1 by 100. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same to the top. Okay, so 0.2 times 100 is 20. Okay, and 20 over 100 is the same as 20%. Okay, so 0.2 as a percentage out of 100 would be 20%. Now, I'm going to show you quickly how you could work out what 0.2 times 100 is, because you might be slightly confused. So, if you look here, we have our place value grid. At the moment, this is 0.20, okay? Now, if you want to times by 100, okay, you need to move this number 2 places to the left. Okay, so you need to move everything 2 places to the left. Okay, so we're going to move this one, 1, 2. We're going to move this one, 1, 2. And then we're going to move the last one, 1, 2. Okay, so this is 20. Okay, so 0.2 times 100 is 20. Okay, so that's just a way of working out how to do that. Okay. Okay, we're going to go through another example now. So this time is 0.45. Okay, this time I want to convert 0.45 to a percentage. Now remember, what is percentage? Percentage means out of 100. So if we want to convert our decimal to a percentage, okay, we need to make it out of 100. Okay, so how do we get from 1 to 100? We times by 100. So what we're going to do is the same for the top. So we need to do 0.45 times 100, which equals 45. Okay, now just going to show you again how to do 0.45 times 100. So here we have 0.45. If we times by 100, we move twice to the left, everything. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Okay, so that's 45. That's where I've got 45 from. Okay. And then 45, as we know, 45 over 100 as a percentage, okay, is 45%. Okay, so 0.45 as a percentage is 45%. Super. So now we're going to do another one, but you're going to help me this time. Okay, so, oh, I've made an error, guys. Sorry, I apologize. This should be 0.27. So, this time, okay, I want to convert 0.27 to a percentage. Okay, and you're going to help me. So all I'm going to say to you is what a percentage is. Percentage means out of 100. So if we want to turn our decimal into percentage, we need to make our decimal out of 100. Okay, so the first thing I've done is I've gone from 1 to 100. Now you need to work out, okay, what this would be, and then what the percentage would be. And you can use your own place value chart, okay, to help you. I've given you some support here. I've said 0.27 is there. Okay, so you're now going to complete this yourself. So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Right, so 0.27 is a decimal. To turn it into percentage, we need to make it out of 100. So how do we do that? 1 to 100, we need to times by 100. So whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So 0.7 times 100 is 27. And I hope you've, as you can see here, 27, I've moved everything twice to the left, okay? 27 out of 100 as a percentage is 27%. So 0.27 as a percentage is 27%. Excellent. So what we're going to do now, okay, is we're going to move the other way. So we're going to go from percentages and fractions to decimals. Okay, so I want to know what 10% is as a fraction and as a decimal. Okay, now let's just get the fraction out of the way because that's easy. We know how to do that. 10%, percent just means out of 100. So 10% would be 10 out of 100. Easy peasy. Okay, no problems at all. Now, okay, what is a percentage? Remember, what is a decimal? Decimal is out of 1. Okay, so if we want to turn our percentage into a decimal, we need to make it out of 1. So how do we do that? Okay, so first thing you need to do is you need to convert it into a fraction, obviously, and then you do 100 divided by 1, because to get from 100 to 1, we need to divide by 1. So then whatever you do to the bottom, you've got to do to the top. So then you're going to do 10 divided by 100, okay, which equals 0.1. Okay, now I'm going to show you, okay, how to do that division, okay, with my place value chart. So here we have 10. Okay, I want to do 10 divided by 100. Okay, with division, if we're dividing by 100, we move it 2 to the right. Okay, so everything needs to go 2 to the right. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and then let me just steal that naught there, and then we need to put a naught here. Okay, so it would be 0.10. Okay, but you can just put 0.1. 0.1 is absolutely fine. Okay, so 10% as a fraction is 10 over 100. Okay, and then 10% as a decimal is 0.1. Okay, let's go for another example. Now I want to know what 49 over 100 is. Okay, as a decimal. I want to know what 49 over 100 is as a decimal. Okay, so what is a decimal? That's the first thing to ask. A decimal is a number which is out of 1. Okay, so how do we get from a fraction to a decimal? We need to make it out of 1. Okay, so 100 divided by 100 would give us 1. Whatever we do to the bottom, we've got to do to the top. So 49 divided by 100 will equal 0.59. Okay, and I'm going to show you again how we do that here. Okay, remember we move everything twice to the right if we're dividing by 100. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we need our 0 there. Oh, why have you gone upside down, mister? You were not meant to do that at all, were you? Alright, so then we go 0.49. Okay, so 49 over 100 as a percentage, as a decimal, is 0.49. Okay? Right, and I believe for the next one you're going to help me out. Okay, so here, okay, I have a fraction, 35 over 100. Okay, now I want to turn this into a decimal. Okay, I want to turn this into a decimal now. Okay, all I'm going to tell you, okay, is what a decimal is. A decimal is a number which is out of 1. Okay, so we need to make our fraction out of 1. Okay, so I've started it here, divided by 100. Now you need to do the top and you need to tell me what the decimal is. Okay, and again, you can use your place value chart to help you. Okay, so please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you are ready. Super. Let me get my big screen up. Right, so, okay, 35 as a decimal. So remember, what is a decimal? Decimal is a number which is out of 1. So if we want to turn our fraction, okay, which is currently out of 100, into a decimal, we need to make it out of 1. So we're going to do 100 divided by 100 gives us 1. Okay, and then 35 divided by 100 gives us 0.35, and I've shown you that here, okay, which is 0.35 is the decimal. So 35 over 100 as a decimal is 0.35. Right, we are now going to move on to our tasks for today. Okay, so we're first going to start with a superstar task. If you're in the Bluezone, please fast forward about a minute probably, okay, to get to your task, because you're going to be doing exactly the same questions but slightly differently. So please do not watch this. Please fast forward if you are in the Bluezone. Right, so superstars, you've got 3 questions. Okay, you're going to be doing conversion. So the first one is converting a fraction to a decimal. The second one is converting a percentage to a decimal. And the third one is converting a decimal to a percentage. Now, I have helped you out slightly here. Okay, so if we're going from a fraction to a decimal, remember we need to make it out of 1 because the decimal's out of 1. So I've done that. I've converted the 100 to 1, and then you've got to do the same for the top. Now, 23% as a decimal. 23% is 23 over 100. If we're converting it to a decimal, it's got to be out of 1. Okay, so I've laid this out for you, 23 over 100, and then out of 1, you've got to do the top, and then work out what the decimal is. And then the last one, 0.4%, 0.4 as a decimal, you need to make that into a percentage. Remember, percentage is out of 100. So you need to make it out of 100, and I've started this off for you. Made it out of 100, so you've got to work out what this is, and then work out what the percentage is. Okay, so please pause the video, use your place value grid to help you, okay, and then press play when you're ready to go through the answers. So, these are the answers. 30 over 100 as a decimal, we need to make it out of 1. So 30 over 100, 100 to 1 is divide by 100, so you'll do the same for the top. 30 divided by 100 is 0.3, which so the decimal is 0.3, okay? 23% as a decimal, 23 over 100, we need to make it again out of 1 because the decimal is out of 1. So we're going to do 100 divided by 100 gives us 1, okay, and then you do the same for the top. 100 divided by 23 gives you 0.23, okay, so that is our decimal. And then the third one is the other way, 0.47 as a percentage. Remember, percentage out of 100, so we now need to make our decimal out of 100. Okay, so 1 to 100, we times by 100. You've got to do the same for the top. 0.47 times 100 is 47, which is 47%. Right, superstars, if you didn't do as well as you would like to have done, do not worry, it's tricky. Okay, so just maybe watch the video again, or send me an email and I will give you some extra support. Okay, superstars, you do have another task to do, but I'm going to do the Bluezone first. So please fast forward about a minute, okay, and we will get to your second task. Welcome back, Bluezone. Okay, here we go. So Bluezone, you've got exactly the same questions. You need to turn 30 out of 100 into a decimal. You need to turn 23% into a decimal, and then you need to turn 0.47 into a percentage. So please pause the video, use your place value grid, and then press play when you are ready to go through the answers. Excellent. So I hope that was good. So 30 over 100 is a decimal. Okay, you need to make it out of 1. So 30 out of 100 goes to 1. How do you get to 100 divided by 100 is 1. So you've got to do the same for the top. 30 divided by 100 is 0.3. Okay, so that's your decimal. 23% as a decimal. 23% is 23 over 100. Okay, and it's a decimal, it's got to be out of 1. So 23 divided, so 100 divided by 100 is 1. So you've got to do the same for the top. 23 divided by 100 is 0.23. And the last one is so a decimal to a percentage, 0.47 to a percentage. Remember, percentage is out of 100, so we need to make our decimal out of 100. So you do 1 times 100, okay, and then you've got to do the same for the top. 0.47 times 100 is 47 over 100, which is 47%, okay? Again, I'm sure loads of you did well there, but if you didn't, don't worry, okay? Please look over the video again or send me an email and I can provide you with some extra support. Bluezone, you've got one last task, but I'm going to do the superstars and task next. So please fast forward again, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, till you get to your next task. Thank you. And welcome back, superstars. So, superstars, this is your task, okay? Here you have a percentage timeline, okay? It goes from 0% to 100%, okay? Now, you've got a fraction here, you've got a percentage here, you've got a fraction here, and you've got a fraction here, okay? Now, you need to work out where all of these things go on our percentage line. But you might be looking at this and being like, Mr. Olins, how can we do this? Because at the moment, this is not a percentage, and this is not a percentage. Okay, I mean, we could, that's a fraction, so we could turn that into percentages. That's very easy. But this is not a percentage, then this is not a percentage. So how are we going to put our percentage line? Well, this is where we need to use our conversion. Okay, and I'm going to go through this with you now step by step. So step one, I would like you to draw this on your page. So please pause the video, complete that, and then press play when you're ready to continue. Welcome back. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to turn all of these into percentages because we're using our percentage line. Okay, so we need to turn everything into a percentage. So what you're going to do now is you're going to turn all of these into percentages. So you've got 4/5, you need to turn that into percentage. Remember how we do this. Okay, remember what percentage is out of 100. That's my hint to you. Okay, then we've got 3/4. Okay, what is 3/4 as a percentage? 40% is 40%. That's already as a percentage. And then this one, 50 over 100 as a percentage. What is that? So what I want you to do, your next task is to turn all of these into percentages. Okay, so please pause the video, complete that, and then press play, and we will go through these. Super. So what are these as percentages? Okay, so 50 over 100 is 50%. So this is 50%. Okay, 3 over 4, 3 out of 4, okay, is 75%. 4/5 is 80%. Okay, and then we knew that 40% is just 40%. Okay, so that's step 2. Now step 3 is to now put all of these on our number lines. Okay, so you need to put 3/4 on a number line, 4/5 on a number line, 50% on our number line, and 40% on our number line. Okay, so you now put these all on our number line. Okay, and I don't want you to put the percentage on the number line. I want you to put this on the number line, this on the number line, and this on the number line. Okay, so please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you're ready to go through these. Okay, and welcome back. So, okay, so 4/5 was 80%. So we just count. So 1, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%. So 4/5 is the same as 80%. 3/4 is 75%. So we go 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%. Then we've got half, 5, so it's 75%, and that will go there. Then we've got 50%, so 10%, 20%, 30%, 4%, 50%. 50% goes here. Then the last one was 40%, which is already there, so 10%, 20%, 30%, and 40%. Okay? So, superstars, well done today. Okay, it's probably a bit of a challenging lesson. I do appreciate that, but don't worry. If you want to, just go over the lesson again, okay, and it will probably help you. Or obviously send me an email. I would really love to see all your work, superstars, so please send it in to me. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. And welcome back, Bluezone. So Bluezone, this is your task. Okay, you are going to sort these fractions, decimals and percentages into the correct column. So here we have loads of different fractions and percentages, okay, and decimals. Okay, now we have 3 columns here. Less than a half, equal to a half, or greater than a half. You need to work out, okay, whether these are less than a half, equal to a half, or greater than a half. So is 50% less, equal, or greater? Is 7/10 less, equal, and so on. You can do that for all of them. Okay, now I'm going to give you a slight bit of help, okay, because I think it's important. Okay, now what I would suggest to do is this. Okay, we know, okay, that it's very easy to compare things when everything's in a percentage. So what I would do is I'd convert all of these into percentages. So what is a half? Okay, we know a half is 50%. Okay, so less than a half, okay, you can just say it's less than 50%. Equal to a half, equal to 50%. And greater than a half, okay, greater than 50%. Okay, now what I would do is I'd turn all of these into percentages. Okay, once you've turned them into percentages, it's going to be very easy to file them out. It's just easier to compare percentages than fractions with percentages, fractions with decimals. Okay, you just turn everything into a percentage. So what I would suggest is drawing this out and having in mind that it's just less than 50%, equal to 50%, and greater than 50%. So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you're ready to go through the answers. And welcome back, Bluezone. Okay, so a quarter is less than 50%, 7% is less than 50%, 0.25 is less than 50%, okay? Equal to 50%, 30 over 60 is equal to 50%, and 50% is obviously equal to 50%. And then the last one is 100% is greater than 50%, 7/10 is greater than 50%, 70 hundredths is greater than 50%, and 60% is greater than 60% is greater than 50%. Okay, super Bluezone. Okay, well done today. Okay, I know it might have been challenging lesson for you, but please pause after this, pause the video, okay, and send me your work. I really, really want to see your work. So that is it for today, people. Thank you very much, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Goodbye.